Hey, Shalom, Akim. Shalom. Call all Yabashim Shah, Bashim Kwagadash. The one said Apostle Great Millstone. Peace and salutations and honor to you brothers out there. Pushing across the four corners of the earth. Keep pushing. Keep the faith. Uh, Real quick, man, you got Mother's Day coming up. And as you can see from the Met Gala 2018, the gala. Wait a minute. Yeah, every time you do a video, the internet slows down for some reason. You don't want to, but you can see, you can see. You got her with the damn Pope outfit on. You got her with the sun goddess dress. All this shit is about woman worship, worshiping the woman, putting the woman on the pedestal. And when you look at our community, the Israelite communities, um, Black, Native American, and Latino people, they're dominated by women because Esau set it up that way so he could destroy us. He put the woman over the man, just like it talks about in the scripture, Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? But the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. And when you look at the different elites and the Amalekites, they push this woman worship, but when you look in their societies, women don't rule over them. The woman in their society is under order of the men, even though they do push that women worship in their society too. So it's a sick cycle that they have us in, and of course we know, just like everything else in our society, it goes back to Babylon. Babylon, that was Babylon. We of course know in the Hebrew is Babalia, and that's where they push Serapis and push Talmuz, which, of course, that's going to go forth in spring. All these other clones of it. Matter of fact, let me get that. So while that's loading, yeah, you have a lot of, because the woman, they were made to be a helpmate, and of course, once again, these women are being worshipped. Everything is about women. You can't hit a woman. You can't do this to a woman. A woman can marry you, leave with all your. She can come with nothing and leave with over half of everything. They can get away with a lot of shit. You're not supposed to hit a woman. If she hits you, don't hit her. All this crazy shit. And just like if you look at our people in West Africa, in Nigeria, and the Congo, they're still trying their best to keep Esau out, even though Esau's his wine is invading there. Um, you got all these different celebrities, Oprah, and these women trying to build up schools and shit, and they figured out the formula, kind of, so to speak. Kind Yeah, so everything, like I was saying, everything is about the woman, which I got it. Ishtar and Tammuz. Maybe it could be, is it Talmuz or I say Tammuz, and then that, of course, was changed. But it's the same demons. The same demons keep manifesting themselves. And you go into Egyptian, it becomes Isis, and I think that's, is it Horus or Osiris? It's one of the two. Could be Osiris. And of course, then it goes into uh, fake Christianity, um, which goes into what Constantine did, was he implemented these different gods and goddesses into Christianity, what was known as Christianity, and that's where you get this whole Mother Mary and Jesus and the worship of Mary, when the scriptures never tell you to worship Mary. And now that's what everything is about in this society. You got a lot of simps online, And you got a lot of simps everywhere. All these people be so respectful of the mother and be so respectful. Hey, our nation of people, we don't hate women, but our nation, it began as a patriarchy, and that's what it was meant to be. It was not. It was never meant to be a matriarchy. It was never meant to be that. And basically, all of this goes back to sun and moon worship. Semiramis, which that's the moon goddess. Semiramis, she's also known as Diana, also known as Venus, also known as Freya. Different names. Nimrod, the sun god. That's another god that keeps being worshipped. And then Tammuz. That's where you get the whole birth date of Jesus, December the 25th. That's Tammuz. That goes back to Tammuz because we know the Lord was born during the Passover according to the Holy Scriptures. So, and even in the what is it at? Yeah, they actually got them as black people. So even when you go into India, the Elamites, every nation has them. The same mother goddess worship, and then you have the sun. So this is everything in this society is nothing new. Unfortunately, in this society, we're taking away our identity as the Israelites, and so you have a lot of airheads trying to fill in the blanks with this different stuff rather than just keeping it, according to the Holy Scriptures. But like I was saying about in Nigeria and in the Congo and these different places, um, what they're doing is these celebrities, they'll go there, they'll try to build up these schools for women and do all this women worship stuff and bring in the different Babylonian customs from America, and then they'll train up these young girls so that they become just like American women. And what the young men are doing, they're seeing this, and rather than coming back to the scriptures, just like here in America, they're going to Islam and all these different facets of Islam, and that's where you get Boko Haram and these different terrorist groups because they want to resist Western influence, so they're trying to embrace Islam or embrace whatever religion, and they're trying to. It's in their spirit basically to do what they're doing, and that's why they're snatching up these young girls. Because then, now look at this, Desperate Housewives Africa. This is a fucking shame. But when you bring this up to the women of our nation, right, the sisters, right, they don't want to talk about this. They don't want to admit this. They don't want to discuss this embarrassing ass behavior that these women are online doing or on TV doing. And you have the very, very young girls who see this and they emulate this. And this stuff gets in turn passed on. This is an embarrassment to the nation of Israel. That's why Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has to come back and balance the earth out, man, because the woman does not create life. Women have never created anything, really. They didn't create a nation. They didn't have any covenants with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They didn't go inside the temple. They didn't do any of that. They weren't priests or anything like that. And of course we know through the scriptures, to touch a woman, that makes you unclean. You become unclean from dealing with women. That's why it says it's better to not touch a woman, according to the scriptures. But like I said, man, we're not women haters. This is an ancient thing. This goes back to our forefathers. They knew what the game was with these women. But right now, like the scriptures say, a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? And we're asking the same thing. Damn, man, how long are these hoes and these thoughts going to continue to profit? How long is Esau going to continue to push these hoes over us? Push these whores and these confused ass women, which, when you get them in an interview and you question them, you're going to get all kind of confusion and madness. And that's just what it is, man. Oh, thou backsliding daughter. You got a lot of backsliding daughters amongst the nation of Israel. But this isn't a woman hatred video. It's just the truth. You know, if you can't handle the truth, click X, and go back to watching, whatever gossip drama that you will watch. And this is the truth according to the Holy Scriptures. But I'm going to get into Genesis 13 and 16. Matter of fact, start at 14. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot separated from him, lift up now thine eyes and look from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest to give to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall my seed also be numbered. And let's see what that say. Word for seed. So I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth. I will give you a lot of children. In the nation of Israel, that's one thing we like to do. We like to produce children. Damn computer slow down when you want to make a video. Okay, I'm gonna jump over to that pops up. So like it. Numbers 1 and 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Pedigree, the word there is yalad. Let's see what comes up with pedigree. See if that popped up. Oh, that's popping now. Yeah, Salaki, the internet, of course, the prince of the power of the air is always around. Yeah, well, like he said, I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth. Let's see what it says for seed. That word there being Zarai. Let me see. Yep, Zarai. Zarai, meaning seed, sowing, or sowing, seed, semen, offspring, descendants, posterity, children. That's correct. And then this word yalad pops up to bring forth, beget, to bear, bring forth, of children, of childbirth, to cause, of help, bring forth, to beget. So that's what it talked about, man. The patriarchy of Israel, because our nation is a patriarchy. We brought the nation forth. Now the woman, of course, she plays her role in nurturing the child. She's supposed to be the first teacher of the child, teaching him the basics. And then once he reaches age, he goes through his rites of passage of manhood, and becomes a man under his father's instruction. Which you're always in your father's instruction, but from an early infantile age, your father's supposed to bring you up, and that was how our customs were done. Not like in this society where it's just confusion. Your mother might have joint custody or whatever, or she might have solo custody. You live with your mother, your father somewhere chilling. Maybe on the weekend, a holiday, you go see him, or maybe once you get 18, you get real cool with your dad, or whatever. But in this society, it's confusion. It's just pure confusion. Because like I said, the Edomites, if you look at their family structures, the top level Edomites, their family structures are solid. You look at our family structures, it's not. Because you have a lot of people who make selfish decisions, be it the man or the woman. Our nation, once again, our nation began as a patriarchy, and that's how it's meant to be. That's how every nation is meant to be, a patriarchy. These women, they want to be worshipped, but it was us who brought us here. And yeah, it was ultimately us whose fault it is that we're here now under servitude. And we know it's ultimately the curses which have our women against us and in the hands of the enemy Esau. But when the time comes forth, you so-called sisters, you're gonna have to come out of that mindset of America. Come out of that mindset of, oh, he's cheating on me by getting with another woman. Hey, and that a lot of these women, they ain't gonna be able to handle that. They'd rather die than have to deal with what the customs are supposed to be. And hey, so be it. If you gotta die, go right ahead. But finishing up is Wisdom of Solomon 7:1. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. Like he said, I was compacted in blood 10 months. We know, of course, the child comes out 9 to 10 months by the seed of man, of the seed of man. His father planted that seed in his mother. His mother's womb was where he rested at. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which was of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying as all others do. That's right, we all babies cry. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king that had any of the beginning of birth. For all men have one interest unto life, and the like going out. Hey, so it's bottom line, it's that simple. And hey, if you still, I mean, the scriptures are quite plain, but name one society where a matriarchy dominated. Give me, people talk about the Amazons, which that's fictional. Name one society, show me one society where women were the matriarchs. They ran shit, they went to war, they ran the government. It don't work. Women's groups never work unless they're under the order of men. And even still, it's still confusion and chaos, but that's just what it is. And with that being said, call hello, Yabashim Awashad. Yeah, I just did the video. You got Mother's Day coming up. You still got a lot of people confused about that fact, especially under our nation, especially amongst Black, Native American, and Latino people, which are the Israelites, of course. You still have that as a huge stronghold for women to run to. But hey, as you can see, the earth is heating up with war. You got all kind of famine coming. Once the earth is cut off, right? You got a huge shortage of truck drivers. You got a huge you got a surplus of police forces and military forces coming in. You got prices going up on different things because the United States is pissing off other nations they do business with. So hey, man, now is the time to dig in. And if the woman don't want to ride straight with you, get rid of her. That's all it is to it, man. Get rid of her, and make sure you don't give her any ammo to use against you once you do get rid of her. That's an important part because we like to, our men like to marry these women and give them legal power over you. Hey, you don't have to do that. If the woman loves you, she don't need to have any kind of legal power over you or anything like that. Once you guys are separated, you separated. You separate, and hey, no reason to call, no reason to do any of that. Just cut off and keep it moving. Hey, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's dealing with men. Real men, they don't get hung up on women, not like the men of this society. But with that being said, call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles, elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations, to you sincere Akim. Kwam Bayat Dawadah. May the house of David keep rising up under the order of men, righteous men. Shalom.